I'm not gonna lie, guys, this journey absolutely terrifies me, and I think what scares me the most is that there's absolutely no guarantee that it's gonna work. Hey guys, it's Justyn. Welcome back to my channel. So long time no see. As some of y'all probably could tell, I did take a little break from the tube, and honestly it was probably for like one of the best possible reasons. I really decided to take some time to just sit down, chill out, regroup, and really figure out like what direction I wanted to go in with my channel. And also, not only that, I took some time to officially rebrand it. So when you're done watching this video, make sure you go down below, actually click on my profile picture and check out and see what's new around there. But without further ado, I am so excited to finally announce to you guys, as y'all can probably already tell by the title, your girl is officially / has officially already started a brand new journey. And of course, I'm gonna take you guys all along with me. So just to catch you guys up to speed, in case there may be some people who aren't quite familiar with me, my name is Justyn. I am 25 years old, and I've been doing this YouTube thing for about 4.5 years now. I first started it when I was still in college, and it was kind of like my way to get some online accountability, because I set myself up a little weight loss challenge that I wanted to lose a certain amount of weight before I graduated. And unfortunately, that was a complete fail, but it did kind of help me to, I guess, kick off like this new platform for me. Like, my whole life has been centered on weight and how fat I think I am and food and stuff. And I'm just tired of it. So for almost a decade now, I have been struggling with my weight, and as a result, I have been doing yo-yo dieting in order to try to help me get it off. I have tried numerous amounts of diets, just to name a few: keto, paleo, flat out trying to starve myself, and most recently, Weight Watchers. And although I have experienced some success with a few of those, at the end of the day, I always ended up going back into my old ways, and so not only gaining back any progress that I lost, but gaining all the way back and then some. I've gained about 40 pounds in 4 months. So now we're going to talk about how I got here. So about 5 months ago, I was in a very, very low place in my life. Although I was never clinically diagnosed, I have a strong feeling that I was depressed. At the time, I was completely isolated, living by myself. I had just gained back the entire 72 pounds that I had lost in my most recent weight loss run. And I just felt at that point like completely out of control when it came to like food and eating and everything. I also decided to quit my full-time job in the middle of a pandemic because I thought I was going to be some big shot YouTuber, and literally the second I quit my job, it was just like, oh, you thought, here's some self-doubt, here's some self-sabotage, you got imposter syndrome, you not good enough. Like, my mental state it just hit me like a brick, and it actually made me feel even worse about my situation. And honestly, I could tell that I was getting into a really bad place. I was already at a bad place, but I could tell I was getting even worse because I started having some thoughts where I just didn't care to really like continue on anymore. Especially like when it came to eating and stuff, like because I had tried and failed so many times to like get back on track. Every single time I would build up the courage to try again and I would fall. I don't know, it would discourage me, and it was 10 times harder for me to try to get back up. So I knew at this point that it would probably be best for me to get some sort of outside help because I didn't really even know what to do anymore. And also, not only was I aware of this, but you guys were also very vocal in your petition for me to get help. I don't think like a day went by where I didn't get at least one DM or comment saying like, hey girly, so have you ever considered therapy? Because I think you might really need it. Guys, I'm so excited. Today is finally the day. Your girl is starting therapy. I don't want to say I've reached rock bottom, but I'm definitely at the place now where, because I've tried and failed so many times, it makes me not want to try anymore. I think I'm just so hopeful. I'm like, girl, I need help. Help me. So whenever I went into this process, I went in with, for one, an open mind and just purely the desire to help fix my relationship with food. I think by then it wasn't necessarily I wanted someone to help me lose weight, because I knew what it took to lose weight. It wasn't like I was unaware because I had done it it so many times before, but I just knew there was some kind of disconnect here, and I was just looking at food in a way that was probably unhealthy for me. So once I finally found a therapist and I went to my first session, I was pretty much like smacked in the face with kind of like a dose of reality. And I don't know, I felt like I kind of had the curtains drawn back into how heavily influenced I had been previously from diet culture. All right, guys, so I am out of my session. She really helped me to understand a lot of the things I've been doing wrong, per se. And I don't want to say wrong, but a lot of things that diet culture has over many, many years influenced me into believing. I'm just so grateful that I'm here. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. Before I started going to therapy, I really looked at myself like I was a failure because I had failed all the diets. I lacked willpower. I had no self-control. Everything was my fault because I don't know, I guess I wasn't strong enough to stay being consistent. And then now I'm starting these sessions with someone who is basically telling me, hey, guess what? All of those diets you've been doing for years and years and years, they literally were designed for you to eventually be able to fail them. Which, I mean, hearing that for the first time, I didn't really understand it, but like now kind of being more in it, it's just been such like a mindset shift for me. So in therapy, that is pretty much where I was first introduced to intuitive eating. Now I had heard of the term before just from like other fitness vloggers and just influencers and stuff like that, just throwing the term around, but I had a very, very tiny knowledge of it before, and to be honest, I kind of assumed it wouldn't work for me just because I still felt like in order for me to be successful, I need rules, I need guidelines, I need structure, and I felt like intuitive eating was kind of not really doing anything, you know? So pretty much intuitive eating is a non-diet approach to nutrition, and it primarily focuses on helping us just become more in tune with our bodies. So for someone like me who has spent literally almost a decade now of dieting, restricting, and just overall suppressing my natural hunger and satiety cues, eating intuitively can be helpful for someone like me to kind of like almost relearn how to trust my own body. And I know this might sound silly to someone who has never had an eating problem before, but just keep in mind that those natural and instinctive cues, for me, they're just not so natural anymore. So with intuitive eating, there are no food rules and there is no tracking or measuring involved. There's also no guilt over any food, so that really helps with like looking at stuff as all versus nothing, or like good food versus bad food, which I've definitely suffered from in the past. There's a very strong emphasis on honoring my hunger, making sure that I'm keeping my body fueled with an adequate amount of food. And more so than just like hunger and fullness, it also takes into account my emotions, my satisfactions, my mental health, my physical health. How does this food make me feel versus another food? Like all of that kind of combines and comes together with intuitive eating. So one major point that I feel like I need to address right here from the beginning is that with intuitive eating, with this process, it is not intended for weight loss. So there is absolutely no guarantee that I will lose any weight following this. And honestly, it's taken me a while to process that and accept that. I think a little bit of me is still trying to accept that. But yeah, like I said before, this journey is solely meant to help heal my relationship with food and just help me become more in tune with my body and what it wants. And with that, I have been told that some people will go through this and they will experience weight gain. Some people may lose some weight and some people might maintain their same weight. And I think it's just different for everybody. It really depends on how your body reacts to it and where your set point weight may land you. But even with all that being said, just to keep it 100 with you, yes, I have taken the pressure off myself to not feel like I need to lose weight, which even that alone, big step for me. And I have for the most part accepted the fact that yes, I'm not guaranteed any weight loss following this. But at the same time, I am still very unhappy at this size. I'm more so very uncomfortable at this size. And I know it kind of sounds taboo to say that yes, I do wish that I could lose weight while intuitively eating. Because like I said, it just don't work like that. But this is me just being honest with you guys. Also, I will say that I kind of have a theory. And this is something that I made up on my own. Like I didn't get this from my therapist or anybody else, but I have a theory. I just have like a strong intuition, I guess. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm pretty sure that my natural set point weight, which AKA is like the weight range where your body feels the best, both physically and mentally, without you having to diet to get there. I have a strong feeling that that's not around 300 pounds. I don't know, something's just telling me that my body don't want me to be functioning like this, you know? So we'll get into the specifics of my weight, how much I've gained, lost, all of that in my next video. But like I said, I strongly doubt that my body wants to stay at this weight. And even though there's no guarantee, I don't know, I'm just pretty positive that eventually it's gonna come down some and settle out into something that's more comfortable for me. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I am not going into this new journey just with like 100% complete confidence. This whole concept is still very, very new to me. Even though, yes, I have been in therapy for 5 months, you'd probably think like I'm all about it and I'm all on board and I trust the process. But honestly, I still have very, very many moments where I doubt it and I'm just not sure if it's gonna work for me. And I think a huge factor into why I feel like this is because I haven't really seen it work for anyone else like me. And when I say anyone else like me, I'm talking about somebody else in a larger body. I'm really big into social media, if you guys can already tell. And so not only do I make YouTube videos, but I also watch a lot of YouTube videos. And I can't lie, it is slightly discouraging that anytime I search like topics like this, the only people I really see talking about it and involved with it are people who are just significantly smaller than me. And that's totally not to say that their journey means like any less, but there's a reason why people say representation matters, because for me to not be able to relate to anybody else on this major important piece of the puzzle, it just can leave me kind of questioning whether this is for me, you know? I feel like half of me is kind of like, all right, there's like a reason that you don't see nobody else that looks like you, and that's probably because this journey is not meant for you. But then like the other half of me is just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna be the first one. So I don't know, we'll see. If y'all know of anybody else, maybe they're just not coming up for me, who has gone through this in a larger body, please let me know down below. Maybe if you've gone through this as well, I would love to hear your stories, and just know that I'm not alone in this. So you might be wondering, Justyn, if you're so scared or unsure if this process is gonna work for you, then why would you go through with it? Especially, why would I document it online for the world to see? And honestly, my answer to that is because it kind of already has started to work. I've actually already started seeing improvements with not only like my relationship with food, but my preferences, my ability to choose quality over quantity, my mental state, and just like overall becoming more in tune with my body. Now, I'll be breaking this down further into like future videos, but just to kind of give you guys a quick example, I've actually noticed that more recently, I'm starting to not really prefer and want like the typical fast food meals that I usually always would. I have loved these types of foods, and I'm noticing now my body's just not craving them anymore, and it's leading me to really, really want to try new things. Also through this process, like I said, I've been trying my best to be open-minded and try new things because I am a big creature of habit. And I'm really excited to let y'all know that I found out that I not only like mushrooms, but I also like sweet potatoes, which I know that's like not a big deal, but those are two foods that I just swore I hated. I don't know why. I think I tried them as a child and I just refused to ever put them in my mouth again. But I retried them now as an adult, and I was like, you know what, these aren't so bad. So again, I know that's not like breaking news, but for a coined picky eater like me, now being able to have 2 extra foods that I can add to my palate, that is exciting for me. So what you guys can expect from me here on my channel from now on is I'm really just gonna be taking you guys along for the journey. You know, for a while, I really wasn't sure where I was gonna go with my content. I did go through a period where I was feeling really lost, and I just didn't know how to proceed because I'm not following any strict specific diet like I always have been before. But then it kind of dawned on me that my channel's name is Justyn's Journey, and it's not Justyn's WW Journey, and it's not changing to Justyn's Intuitive Eating Journey. It is literally just Justyn's Journey. And for me, what that means to me is that regardless of what journey I'm on at any given time, this is my platform to talk about it, to document it, and to spread awareness. And guess what? Those who are interested will stay, and those who aren't won't, and that's okay. So regardless if this is a journey that you yourself, you may want to embark on eventually, or if you're just rooting for me on the sidelines, or if you're simply just watching because you're curious, just know that I do appreciate it. So back to what you can expect from me on this channel. Like I said, I am going to be taking you guys along with me for the journey. So that means that I will periodically be posting updates as to how I am progressing along. Also, I do still plan on posting, you know, what I eat in a day videos here and there, but I think they're going to be a little bit less food focus as to what exactly I'm eating and more like telling you guys about my choices and my mindset, stuff like that. I also will be posting educational and informative content as I myself learn more and more about this. And you might also see the occasional fitness video here and there because that's still a big part of my life, and believe it or not, it actually really ties into this entire thing. So overall, I kind of feel like I'm on my own journey. I mean, this is happening regardless if I post about it or not. I mean, it's been happening for several months now, but just because this is what I love to do, I love being on YouTube, I love documenting, you know, my life, I figured I would just take you guys along with me. So pretty much that is the gist of what I'm doing, guys. Before I go though, unfortunately, I do have to make a few disclaimers. I know it's kind of annoying, but I just want to go ahead and put it out now so that I'm not constantly having to repeat myself. So first and foremost, I am not a professional or expert in any of the subject matter I will be discussing. Number two, I'm not posting any of this for the purpose of trying to advise people. I am simply just sharing my own journey. Number three, because I am going through this and I am documenting it in real time, I'm very likely to mess up or say something wrong. I am learning and sharing simultaneously, so please give me some grace. Number four, I'm very likely to disappoint you based off of your preconceived expectations you might have already placed on me, so it's probably best not to set any. Number five, there is no time limit for how much I plan to achieve by a certain time. This journey could be a couple of months, it could be several years, and we both will find out as time goes along. And number six, just to repeat myself from earlier, this journey is not intended for weight loss. And last but not least, number seven, this journey may not be for everybody, and that's okay. Just piggybacking off of that, I completely understand and I am aware that I created my platform completely immersed in diet culture. Also, I know that I gained a large amount of my audience from the WW community. So I get that I might not be everybody's cup of tea. I get that not everybody is trying to go on this whole new journey with me. And I get that it may not make sense to everybody. And I just wanted to let you guys know that that's okay. If you don't feel like it is beneficial to follow me anymore and support me, that is totally fine. So do with that information as you will. The only thing that I ask though is that if you still continue to watch, even though you may not understand, I do ask that you still remain respectful. I think here on the internet, we can all have our different views of opinion, but we don't have to tear each other down and just say insensitive things throughout the process. So yeah, you guys, that is about it. As of right now, I am still planning on posting every single week, but I did change my day from Sunday to Friday. So make sure you look out for me next Friday. And before you guys go, please let me know down below in the comments what you think. If you're excited, not excited, whatever, just let me know. I would love to interact with you guys down there. And of course, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on this journey, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.